So to start off this video, let's do a recap of what just happened. We all know why we cannot race in real life at this moment. So until we are going back to real racing, we are right now doing sim racing. In short, sim racing is simply trying to simulate real life racing. So this platform is pretty much perfect for the real life series to do their digital counterpart in. There has been a lot of controversy though. Stuff that drivers did in sim racing actually affected their real life drive. For example, sponsorship being taken away or one even losing his drive. The latest controversy has risen in Formula E. So Formula E is pretty much halfway through their season right now. They have both the Challenge Series, where actual professional sim racers are participating in, and they have the Formula E Drivers Race. This is where all the Formula E drivers are battling for a championship. Not only that, every race they win, they can donate 1,000 euros to a charity of their choice. Overall, this event is set up pretty professionally. This goes hand in hand with also a very professional livestream. So, what did Daniel Abt actually do then? Daniel Abt wasn't scoring very well in those races, but instead of practicing to get better, he instead decided to hire in a professional sim racer. This is a sim racer who was originally driving in the Formula E Challenge grid, which is the sim racers grid. He actually put in a lot of effort into this as well. For the actual Formula E livestream, he made sure that his face wasn't to be seen. He made sure that the pop filter of his microphone was obstructing the view for his head. But of course, a lot of Formula E drivers are doing live streams as well. Abt, being a YouTuber himself, also does this. So what he did was only showing his face camera, so no feed of the game itself, just him turning the wheel, pretending to drive the car. So what happened on track? Well, as I just said, he wasn't performing very well. So you do expect that suspicion is immediately raised when he suddenly is battling for the win of the race. Both Van Dorn and Verne actually called this out, with Van Dorn actually doing it in the interview after the race, and instantly there was an investigation starting by Formula E. They got proof and Abt was disqualified from the event and all the races beforehand. Also had to pay a 10,000 euro fine to a charity of his choice. This wasn't the end though. Not only did he get in trouble for his virtual ride, he also was actually dropped by Audi for his real life Formula E drive. This of course caused a lot of commotion. A lot of people saying that this was blown out of proportion and that it was just harsh. But there's one argument which is being used all the time since the beginning of the first controversies. And this is the comment, "Who cares? It's just a game." So here I'm going to answer that question. Is sim racing just a game, or is there more to it than that? So let's start off with the game part of that statement. Is sim racing a game? That answer is pretty simple. Yes, it is. But let's go to the just part. Is sim racing just a game? Well, that of course depends. For example, football is a game. The Olympics are multiple games. Racing technically is also a game. So let's keep it at the football part and the Olympics. Are they just a game? No, there's a lot at stake there. Definitely with football, with multi-million-dollar paid athletes. The Olympics, you are representing an entire country. So those two, for example, are definitely not just a game. So how does this translate to sim racing? Just like in football and in the Olympics, it's the way it's being presented to the outside public. Is it being presented as a professional, serious event? Or is it presented as like a day out with your friends where you're just kicking the ball for fun? So for example, if you are playing football with your mates and make a goal with your hands, it's not a big problem. But do it in a World Cup, for example, and you're gonna get some backlash from that. In the digital racing world, the equivalent is like the difference between Lando Norris racing with his mates on Formula 1 2019 doing the not GP versus, for example, the V8 supercars, who actually have stewards who actually handed out penalties. So how serious is the Formula E event? The Formula E event is of course split in two kind of races. You've got the challenge race, which is definitely serious, because I've actually participated in that. And then of course you've got the Formula E drivers race, which from the looks of it is also presented in the same way. So is the Formula E event just a game? From the looks of it, it definitely isn't. It is a game, but it's a serious one. This is also partly because there is money on the line. And once there's money on the line, it's serious. And you definitely cannot cheat. So how bad was it what Daniel Abt actually did? If this was just a serious event with no money on the line or whatever, but it was still presented as a serious event, he probably would just be banned from that league. I doubt that he would actually have been dropped by Audi if that was the case. But what is different about this event is that on top of it being a serious event, it was also a charity event. What is the last thing you do at a charity event? That is cheating. Daniel Abt was representing Audi, and Audi doesn't want to be associated with someone that cheats in a charity event. That's just very bad PR. So I totally get why he was actually dropped by the team. So overall, what we are learning here is that everything you do, no matter if it's in a big event or a small event, if you do something controversial, there are gonna be consequences. The bigger the event is and the more people are gonna see it, the bigger that consequence will be. Even though it was completely the worst case scenario for Daniel Abt, it still was him who misjudged the situation and actually did something stupid. It's as simple as that, and that's not going to change. This also is a lesson to other drivers. If you're not taking sim racing serious, don't drive in a serious sim racing event. That will avoid all this commotion, will avoid you losing a driver or a real life sponsor, and everyone will be happy at the end of the day. But of course, this is still my opinion.